Episode 11. Hello, everyone. It's Anthony here, and thank you for listening again, and all the listeners out there who've listened to the last 10 episodes. Thank you. It's been great to have the support, and yeah, it's awesome to be back every fortnight, and one day hopefully make it weekly, but for now, the fortnightly content's working for me and my lifestyle right now. It's been a very busy week, fortnight actually, with everything going on with work, life, and Father's Day and whatnot. So Father's Day was awesome, had the kids, and we did our thing, and, wake up, and their little cards they gave me had little messages and details of camping, asking me, when are we going camping next? And it was a massive light bulb moment going, shit, we haven't been for ages. Like, we really got to plan something. So yeah, we've got a planned trip in October, what we do with our friends every year normally, but I've got to get my ass into gear and get the other trip sorted. So yeah, just even an overnighter or something, just planning anything really. They're eager to go, even doing a backyard one I'm thinking of doing. So yeah, just planning that at the moment, but it's funny how they give you those little hints or messages, even if it's the Father's Day card or just a question in the car. It was an eye opener to say, yeah, it's been a long, wet, cold winter in Victoria, Australia. So I'll be looking forward to utilising. Hopefully, we get some warmth coming up, and yeah, got to plan that trip. But it comes at even the planned Christmas trip coming up. What I'm thinking about doing is going to a caravan park that we normally go to, spend a couple of nights at. They absolutely love it, and everywhere's doing 5-night minimum at the moment around the Christmas period. So for some, it's hard not to do that. So it's a bit frustrating, but there'll be some golden nuggets out there, or just even call them up and negotiate it. There's room for negotiation for everything I say, life's a negotiation. So hopefully I can swindle something and get that sorted. Otherwise, it's a plan B, you'll see. So we'll see what happens. There was interesting facts coming from the Melbourne Fall Drive show that there was actually not 8 to 9% less people attending this year than there were last year. Working at the show, it was bloody busy, but seeing those numbers was quite surprising because, well, I guess it is surprising, but not how busy it looked compared to other years I've been. Yeah, I can understand, but like I said previously, there was less people with bags walking around, but a lot of people just looking, kicking tires, maybe doing some research. A lot of these companies don't actually bring a lot of stock with them, and you can get it posted after. So, example, I got a couple of things from K-On sorted after the show, and because the items I would carry, they would need another truck of shit to bring down. So, it's so bulky, and they offered free shipping, which is pretty cool. But it is a sign of the times where, times are getting a little bit tighter, especially what you see in fuel, supermarket, and just day-to-day costs are going up. So it wasn't surprising, but I guess there was it brought a bit of a light bulb of how to save money coming up to a trip I've done previously. Do some shopping over a month or two for items, and certain other items buy on the time, like going to your butcher or getting your veggies earlier, so you're not throwing out anything, and organising your day, your trip, when you eat what when. So obviously I would eat the vegetables that won't last long first, and then things like you bring a coleslaw, you make your own coleslaw, and that will last longer in the fridge than lettuce. So a head of red cabbage will last longer. Bring some mayo, bring some salt, bring some oil, and then you can make your own coleslaw with some steak that's already been vac sealed. There's different ways of doing that, but more importantly, saving the trip money on, seeing people buying less, it means they're either buying off marketplace, or they're happy with what they got, or they're doing the research for later. But it was interesting to see the stats and figures there that, numbers are down. Maybe more people are going to Bali and Fiji since the border's been open in the last couple of years. But there was definitely a lot of people that would be going out and, hearing the stories of what people do and getting some ideas off them. That was fantastic, and sharing my ideas as well. That was awesome fun. So, yeah, it's interesting what the market's doing. And, there's a lot of flooding of products in certain areas that never were based. So there'll be maybe one or two companies that did 270-degree awnings. Now there's 30, 40 of them, and only a selected handful of them are made in Australia. And yeah, just seeing how everyone's trying to make this, quote, game-changing item, and you see all these people on YouTube or people on Instagram installing these items saying that, you know, they would use it every day of the week, but I'm sure if they had a better option or another company spruiked it to them, that they'd drop it like a sack of shit and buy the one and get the one that they really want. So yeah, sometimes it's a bit fake. Sometimes you can't get sucked in like everything. You got to do your own research. You know, literally put your tin hat on. Don't listen to half the shit they're saying, because you know they're getting paid by companies to spruik their products. And you just know. So it pays to do your own research. It pays to even trial the product. You know, these days you can buy them pretty cheap and then flog them off a marketplace pretty cheap as well. So, you know, you're not losing that much money, but, you know, the last thing you want to do is have something break while you're gone. And things I won't skimp on, as I said before, is a battery setup and fridge. I couldn't think of anything worse than having food going off on a trip. Yeah, get an esky with ice, sure, but if you're going to invest in something like that, at least do it properly. Get an auto select to do it if you don't know what you're doing. Last thing you want is a car fire, and the last thing you want is warm food and having to go somewhere to get food on the spot and have to manage it another way. There's always a plan B. You can always get yourself out of the shit, but you don't want to be putting yourself in that situation with the valuable time you have off. Like, hell, we only get 4 weeks off a year. Like, that's, you know, 20 working days off a year. You want to use it wisely, and you don't want to be faking sickies or faking what you're doing just to go away. So that valuable time, do it properly. I say plan, and yeah, that's what I mean. Don't skimp on products. Hey, esky with ice and meat and veggies and drinks and whatnot in it. It's perfect. It's absolutely fine. Everyone's been doing it. Shit, look at the 90s. Everyone did it. You had an Engel fridge, people thought you had a fucking mansion. Today, obviously, there's a flooding of products. It's a different market. So if you're going to do it more often, you know, do the investment. If you want to save some money, ice and an esky in one of those ice boxes these days, it's fucking great. So yeah, see, you know, do your research, and yeah, just don't get sucked in with some of those people's products. But from the show, there's some things that I want to add to my collection that I noticed that people use and had some feedback on, done some research on, and I wanted to share it with everybody. So, you know, camping with kids, camping with yourself, camping with friends, I thought of new items that I would be bringing. I did mention the GME EPIRB. I'm actually going to get that very soon, and yeah, keep that in the car, essentially. When you got no reception, shit hits the fan, you press the button and emergency services will be there in a click of a button. Even going Melbourne to Sydney, if you're driving, you know, no reception, someone's, you know, at the point where you need emergency services ASAP, one click of a button and the emergency services will GPS track you. But there's a couple of items that I will be adding. Is definitely a mosquito repellent unit. So normally when I go away, I use the stickers. You put these Mozzie stickers you get at like Chemist Warehouse. You slap them, you put them on the back of your kids' jumpers, and it sort of eliminates the possibility of mosquitoes. That's great when you're on the walk, but when you're at camp, or you're sitting around a fire cooking, there's a product that I've seen out. It's called the Thermocell EX90. It's a rechargeable mosquito repellent unit, and it covers you around a 6 square meter circumference to protect you from mozzies and getting bitten and whatnot. It's better than spraying all that shit on you, or, you know, making it smell like a eucalyptus tree walking around everywhere. Some people do like it, some people don't. I know mine sort of deter from it a little bit, but I want to give it a try because I've had a couple of people use it and swear by it, and for $100, like, you know, it's worth it. If you use it over X amount of years, the amount of money you spend on these stickers, repellents and whatnot, you know, you pay itself off. Things I always pack is their Panadol, their Nurofen, I always carry Hydrolite everywhere I go because I can get you out of any situation so fast, whether, if they're dehydrated or got a stomach bug or sick. That always helps. Always carry antihistamines for kids. Then, sometimes they're getting bitten by an ant or a spider or something. That will really reduce the swelling. First aid kit with the ice pack in it that you just quickly smack on the table and put on straight away. It is that relief when something happens. Other items I thought of, when you go to a river and you're walking on those pebbles, they're not really good on the feet. Having one of those like wetsuit shoes for the river, so they put their feet on, is a good idea. I think I'm going to get that for next time, particularly because, at least you get sandals dry. When you go in the water and the rocks and you go in the sandals and the sand, you're just carrying shit everywhere into your tent. And on that note, I do have a muck mat, and the muck mat does save a lot of crap going into the tent. It looks like synthetic grass. Sure, you can get the cheapo version, but I don't know. From the muck mat really has helped keep our site clean and dry. Saying that as well, when you go to the beach or you got sandy areas, carry some talc powder and just put it on their feet. That literally the sand just falls off their feet. I keep it in our car when we go to the beach, and that helps keeping the area dry, area clean, and also sand out of your feet. So you just put it on, wipe it off straight away. You're not sitting there like ages, and you know what sand's like sometimes. It sticks to you like glue. So, yeah, it does definitely work. I do recommend it. In the other items I've got now is Cedar Summit make a toiletry bottles, and they're leak proof. They don't, you squeeze it, comes out easy. I even use one in our kitchen area for the olive oil. I carry just a little bit of olive oil rather than a 1 litre bottle because, you got to have a second mortgage to buy a fucking litre bottle of olive oil these days. Can't believe it. $16 on special for a litre bottle of oil. That's a joke. All right, enough of that rant. But yeah, having those items, I've learned to pack lighter. I've learned to pack smarter, but also prepare for any situation. And definitely those, what I just stated is like the mosquito one, I definitely want to try, and I'll report back. But definitely the other items I just stated, they're a go-to. Even Nurofen for adults, Impanadol for adults, Hydrolite for, I use it all the time when I go away. It just helps that little bit, especially if you're not feeling well, it's hot, or any situation that comes up. So, yeah, give those a try. If you want me to put in a link, I can put a link of the items I use. I'm actually thinking of, I am building a website at the moment, and sort of like the gear I have, the gear I use, even putting some up of the designs I've done over the years of things I've made for my vehicle, DIY, even thinking of putting like a bit of a shopping list of what to get from Bunnings and doing a few YouTube tutorials, how to make things like, now coming up, I'm going to make a drawer for my car. I've had the XTM drawer. I didn't realize it weighs nearly 38 kilos. So I sold that sucker on Marketplace and replaced it with something else. I'm actually got some boxes that I'm using at the moment that I'm going to be taking in and out of. Because my car's a 9 to 5 work car, it was just a lot of weight to carry straight all the time, and really only used it when I went away. I did store some things in it, but it was such a shitty design that had this extra table in it. You couldn't actually use the maximized height of the drawer because I had so much other mechanisms in it. It just didn't work for me, so I sold it. So worked for what I needed at the time, but my traveling style changed and evolved, and yeah, as much as like I want to put a rooftop tent in my car, I'm just not comfortable carrying 70 kilos worth of tent on my roof and not having the comfiest sleep. If I was going to do a tent on the roof, I put it on a canopy of a car or even on a trailer. So I'm still going to probably just stick to the swag for now. I've actually haven't got a swag at the moment. I'm looking at getting ARB double swag online via Marketplace. I'm not going to spend $700 on a new one. Sorry, ARB. Your products are good, but nah, I can get one for $300 online, easy. And if you see some stuff online, I think I'm going to do a Marketplace episode properly coming up. What tips I use. If you need help finding something, happy to try and help you there too. So, yeah, coming up for that trip, I'm actually just going to make a shopping list and put that on what I do as well. So, there'll be some content that I want to share to you guys to say thank you for listening and actual useful items rather than just, me expecting you guys to listen every week and get nothing for it other than some advice and information and some stories. But, giving back to you guys is something I want to do. It's something that I believe others don't do. Others ask for money in a Patreon and, they'll send you a stubby holder or something. Whoop-de-doo, you hear the episode a week early. Like, how many fucking subscriptions can you have? What value is that going to bring you to you? Unless it's something you really genuinely want to support, then good on you. But really, have a look into things because really, if they got studios and stuff, then, they're doing all right. Don't worry. So I haven't got any sponsors. I don't want any sponsors. I like the products I put up on my page and what I buy and share is stuff that I believe in, stuff I've done research on, and stuff I'll admit to say it works or doesn't work. So, yeah, I'm pretty honest and truthful about that. I'm not here to represent brands I don't care, don't want to know about things. I've probably bought so many different brands of different products over the years, and some that, like the King stuff, is great, and some of it's not so great. So next episode, I'm thinking of putting my kids on the spot and actually interviewing them. So I'll be interviewing Marco and Carla, my kids. They're nearly 7. They're going to be 7 in 3 weeks. It's freaking me out. So, yeah, I want to interview them and ask them some questions, and they can ask me questions. Get a bit of an insight of 2 6-year-olds, no, near 7-year-olds. It would be quite funny, actually. They've been wanting to come on, and, yeah, I've been saying I will. So, got to put my money where my mouth is and just do it. So expect that coming up soon. I've got a couple of interviews coming up with a couple of companies, couple of YouTube guys, some people on Instagram, and yeah, just genuinely good people I've been following for years and just worded it up. And yeah, they said that's great. If there's people that you think I can reach out to and get on the show, let me know. Look at the socials, getting out there _ on Instagram. I've even got an email, info@gettingouthere.net.au. Yeah, love to hear some feedback. Hear what you want to say. Hear any topics you want me to talk about. Please reach out. I'm happy to talk about. Ask me questions. I'm going to put a bit of a poll on of a few things that I'm curious about from my audience. And yeah, with a lot of American viewers, I'm actually curious of what you guys want to hear, so please reach out to me, and I'd like to hear further from you guys as well. So thanks, everybody. It's been great, and I look forward to being back on live in a couple of weeks. Take care of yourself and have fun. Cheers.